What's up, guys? Corpo 24 here. Axis&Allies Anniversary 1941 setup with Variance, Sam Kenny, and Hunter Jones. Italy just finished its third turn, and I will begin America's third turn and China's. Just a heads up, Variance, I have a guy here, not here, it's actually right here in Anglo, Egypt, Sudan. On UK's last turn, I moved him up there on my non-combat move. You can check my video, you'll see it. And I also have a British fighter in Moscow. I moved him to Moscow on my last British turn, also on the non-combat move. So that carrier up there just has one fighter, and that's an American fighter. And the British fighter is in Moscow. And artillery, infantry, tank in Leningrad. That's it. Okay, so it's America's third turn. $41. Here's my buy. Cruiser, destroyer, fighter, artillery, transport. That leaves me with no money left over. And we'll get right to it. Let's start on the European side of the board. Going to take this bomber. We're going to fly down to Italy. We're going to do an air raid. So 1, 2, 3. And you can make it back to London. Gonna go down here, take this fighter from the Philippine Sea. We're gonna head south. 1, 2, join this British destroyer. Gonna offload these fighters into East Indies, and after that they have one move left over. So they started here. 1, 2, going into the island. 3, and then they'll land back on that carrier for 4. Gonna bring this transport here. 1, 2, with 2 men, and they're gonna invade East Indies. Going to take this bomber. 1, 2. Excuse me. It was on Wake Island. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop that transport. 5, 6. Land back in Alaska. Going to take this transport with the infantry and artillery, and we're going to head south. 1. We're going to go one more west. Sea Zone 51. Take the Caroline Islands. I know it's worth nothing, but it's strategic. And that'll be it. So let's start off with, let's do East Indies first. Just let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Do I want to do anything with that fighter there? Got a fighter just hanging out in that carrier. No, he'll stay on that carrier, that's fine. Okay. I think I could pop. So let's do the East Indies. So I have 2 1s and 2 3s. Versus 2 of your 2s, Sam. So here's my 1s. Nothing. And here's my 3s. 1 hit. You have 2 2s. Here are your 2 dice. 1 hit. Okay, so I'm down to 1 guy. Here's my infantry. Hit. And here's your man. Miss. Whew. So I take the East Indies barely with 1 guy. So Japan will go down 4, and Britain will get that money. So these fighters are just hanging out on that island right now. Yeah, that's it on that side. And here, just doing a bombing raid in Italy. So here's your AA. That is a miss. Here's my bomber. 5, not too shabby. So Italy has 5 damage marks on it now. And this bomber will head back to London, land there. Okay, so non-combat. So these fighters are going to land back on this carrier, Yorktown. This carrier from Midway is going to go south 1 and then west to the Caroline Islands, accompanied by these 2 destroyers. 1, 2. This fighter's from San Francisco is going to go 1, 2, land on that carrier. This bomber is going to land in Alaska. This man's going to go down to Western Canada. Let's see here. This transport's going to take artillery to infantry. We're going to go 1, 2 to Sea Zone 1 and just hang out there. They're going to be deployed in Eastern Canada accompanied by 3 destroyers. Okay. Bomber went back to London. Fighter's going to hang on that carrier for now. And I think that's it for the Americans. Let's see here. Yeah. So here I have a carrier with 1 fighter, 2 destroyers, and a transport. Bomber in Alaska. Man in Western Canada. Carrier loaded with the transport, 1 guy in the East Indies. British destroyer. 3 destroyers and a transport with artillery and infantry in Eastern Canada. Bomber in London. American fighter on the carrier Illustris. I think that's a British carrier. And I'll put my placement down. Cruiser going to the Season 10. Rest is going to the Pacific. Transport. Destroyer. Artillery. Fighter in San Francisco. And I think that's my turn. So that is US. So US starts off with 40. I'm down 2 from the Philippines, 38. $38 for the Americans. And China, well, can't do anything with China, so China's done. Round 3 is in the books, boys. I will pass the torch on to Variance for Germany's 4th round whenever you have a chance. Things are definitely getting interesting. And we'll see what you do with Germany next. Kind of interested to see what move you do. But yeah, Germany round 4 whenever you have a chance. And Hunter Jones will be coming in round 4. And I'm looking forward to it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, deuces.